So now we will be talking about a specific Wonolo Up partner, PadSplit, a benefit partnership that you have access to right now. Hannah, again, thank you so much for being here. I'll let you take it away and tell us what PadSplit is all about.
Thanks, Trad. So, hey guys, I'm Hannah from PadSplit, and I am the Director of Partnerships. One of the things that we do is try to ensure that you guys know what you're getting into before you start the application process. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what PadSplit does, try and answer your questions before you even have a chance to ask them. And then if we don't cover something, we'll make sure that we cover them at the end. I'm going to start a presentation so you guys have an idea of what we're doing here. To live at PadSplit means you have the ability to find modern, affordable rooms. You can pay for those rooms by the week, by the month, or even by the year. When you pay for those rooms, it includes all of your utilities and Wi-Fi. So your bill comes in once a week, and it includes everything. We believe that PadSplit should provide affordable housing and that it should exist for everyone, and it shouldn't be a barrier to building your life. So if you've had issues with your credit, you've had trouble saving up enough for a deposit, things like that, PadSplit may be a really great fit for you. What we do is match up trustworthy housemates. So you will be living in a traditional standard single-family home most of the time with anywhere between 3 and 7 roommates within one house. You can pay by the week. And we offer more than just a room. We have the PadSplit perks, which means you have access to things like jobs. You also have access to Teledoc, which is a medical care 24/7. So that is free with your membership. And then we also have education opportunities available to you as well for a discount. So you're partnered with these trustworthy housemates. You can pay by the week for as little as $99 a week, although our average cost of a room in Atlanta, for example, is about $150. And then you have access to perks as well. So some things you should know before you start the application. When you start to apply, you should be making twice the amount of weekly dues. So if you're making, for example, $300 a week, then you can afford a room that's $150 a week. Now, if you're on Social Security income or disability and you're working some, that's okay. But you only have to make 1.5 times the weekly dues. If you have a background, you need to know that you cannot have a felony for 7 years and be at PadSplit. However, if you have any misdemeanors or evictions that are older than 7 years, you're more than welcome to stay with us. Or I'm sorry, felonies for more than 7 years. If you have evictions, that's okay too. You just can't have more than 2 within that 7-year period. So bad credit is okay. Evictions are okay, up to 2 and 7 years. Misdemeanors are totally fine. We understand everyone has rough patches in life. If you have a felony, it has to be over 7 years old. The application process is pretty simple. It takes about 20 minutes. You can apply online at padsplit.com. There's a little orange button or a pink button, depending on the day, in the top right corner that says Get Started. You have to complete it online. It's the only way to get through the process. It can take between 20 minutes and 7 days to be approved, and that is basically depending on that background check. To apply, you should make sure that you have a picture ID and 2 of your last pay stubs or Social Security documents. And that ID that you have must be government issued, which means it needs to be a driver's license or a passport. If you have all of those handy, that application takes about 20 minutes. Some are automatically approved. If you've never had a misdemeanor, it can be approved within 30 seconds after your application is completed, and you can move in within 48 hours. And I was talking a little bit about those perks. We have savings programs, Teledoc access, and we also do positive credit reporting. That means if you live in a PadSplit, within 60 days, you're going to get anywhere between a 50 and 100-point boost to your credit score. Now, we don't expect that most people will live at PadSplit for a lifetime. We expect a lot will what we call graduate out or move on. After about 10 months, most people move on to a traditional apartment, but you can stay as long as you like. We've had people stay with us as long as 3 years, and some only stay a couple weeks. It's up to you. We don't believe that flexibility means a lack of permanency, so you can stay for as short or as long a time as you'd like. Move-in fees, always important to know. You have that $29 background fee. Now it's non-refundable. So if you know you have a felony on your record, make sure you don't apply. The last thing I want you to do is lose your $29. But once you use that $29, you get that background check fee. There's usually a $100 administration fee. Our owners of the homes, PadSplit doesn't own them, our hosts do, kind of like Airbnb. They set the administration fee. So it can be between $100 and $200, but usually it's right at the $100 to $150 range, and your first week of dues. So if you add all that up, if your weekly dues are $150, your administration fee is $100, and your $29 fee, that's about $280 to move in. There is no other additional fees. There's no deposits, and there's free laundry on site in about 98% of our PadSplits. That is the vast majority of the questions that people ask. But there's a couple other things you should know. One is that we fully expect that co-living will sometimes come with issues with your housemates. I don't know about you, but I live with my son, and sometimes he gets on my nerves. And so we have to work through those things together. We have a customer success team that is on the phone 24/7, along with support chat and email. So if you ever have issues with housemates, issues with the home, and other things like that, we have a support team that's ready to support you at any time. We also allow transfers, which means that if you get a job on the other side of the city or a different part of the country, you have the ability to transfer within the PadSplit community for a small fee at almost any time with about 48 hours of notice. So that covers about the vast majority of things, and I went through that pretty fast. So I wanted to make sure that I answered any questions that we may have. Trad, did you have some of those?
I have to work at Wonolo to use PadSplit.
Absolutely not. You can have a job anywhere. We happen to have a partnership, but that doesn't mean you have to work there. So if you have a traditional job and a Wonolo job as well, then you have the ability to work both or neither. And as long as you're employed, you're welcome at PadSplit.
Absolutely. All right. Somebody asked, what is the general price range per week, and are there monthly rates?
Sure. So the average rate in the Atlanta market is about $150 a week. Now that ranges from $99 to $210 a week. So it's a broad range. Our rooms are priced on what's available in the home. So a traditional master bedroom with a private bath is going to be more expensive than, say, a basement room with a shared bathroom. So again, that range is from $99 to about $210, with the average being about $150.
Gotcha. And how soon can you move in after making an application?
48 hours. So once you get your application approved, you can usually move in within 48 hours. Now, if you finish your application on a Friday, you might not be able to move in until Monday or Tuesday, depending on room availability. But usually it's within 48 hours of finishing your application.
Gotcha. And this question's been asked a lot. Where's PadSplit currently, and where are they going next?
That's a great question. So right now we're mostly centered in Atlanta, but we do have several homes open in the Richmond area in Virginia, a few open in the greater state of Texas, like in Dallas-Fort Worth area, and we have a few in Houston as well. Tampa will be launching in 2.5 weeks. So if you're in the Florida area or in Tampa, we'll have about 10 rooms available in that area before the end of the month.
Awesome. And does PadSplit allow single parents with kids in their homes? And what about pets?
That's a great question. Single parents with one child are more than welcome at PadSplit. We have an occupancy limit because of code enforcement. So if you have more than one child, unfortunately, it's not going to work out. But if you have one child and one parent, you're more than welcome at a PadSplit as long as that child is under the age of 13. We do not allow pets at PadSplit. If you have a certified service dog, now unfortunately, emotional support animals do not count, but a certified service animal, you can have that dog with you at the home. However, it must come with specific certifications and a note from your doctor. And we're very careful about this because co-living means allergies, and some people have fear of animals. And so we're cautious of other people in our community and their safety.
Gotcha. And this is a good question, I guess. It says, what happens if you don't get along with the people in your PadSplit house?
That's Always a typical question, and it makes complete sense because living with others can be hard sometimes. Like I said earlier, we have that customer support team. I will be the first one to tell you that the first advice our customer support team is going to tell you is to try and talk it out yourselves. Most people hear better when it's coming from their own peers. We highly encourage house meetings on a regular basis. That includes cleaning schedules and making sure everyone's working together in community. If that doesn't work or the person is just unwilling to hear you, our customer support team will often step in and try their best to mediate the situation so that you guys can both live in a feeling of mutual respect and comfort and safety.
Gotcha. And are married couples allowed to use PadSplit?
So currently the answer is no, and that's not always been the case. But during COVID and the pandemic, we really tried to reduce the numbers in the home to make sure everyone was safe, especially because so many of our residents are frontline workers. So as of now, we are not allowing 2 adults to live in a room. We are hopeful that that will change after the vaccine becomes more readily available.
Gotcha. I'm just firing these off on you and you're handling them perfectly. Hey. Love it. There's a lot of great questions being asked. A couple people have asked, how can they become a host on PadSplit because they have extra rooms in their house?
That's awesome. If you are a homeowner, you can always become a host. One of the ways you can do that is go to PadSplit.com, click on Get Started, and click on I want to be a host instead of I want to be a member. And then one of our team will reach out to you after you fill out your basic information. If you rent your home, unfortunately, at this time, you cannot be a host.
A couple people were wondering about the eligibility requirements for PadSplit. Is there anywhere that they can see those on the PadSplit website?
Sure. If you go to the PadSplit website, you can find the FAQ or the FAQ, and that FAQ page, the FAQ page, will allow you to see what all the requirements are. I know it was a lot to take in, so it will go over all of those requirements. And I think one thing I need to address too is that while we have a requirement for felony charges or for felonies, we do not have a requirement for charges. So if you have charges pending, just like all of the rest of America, we believe in innocent until proven guilty. If you have not been formally charged and convicted of a felony, you're still accepted at PadSplit.
Gotcha. And what if you have one eviction and it has just been 5 years?
You're good to go.
Awesome. All right, I think this is the last question. What is PadSplit's rules or policies about cigarette smoke?
That's a great question. If you are a smoker, we get it. It happens. I like nicotine too. If you need to smoke, you always have to do so outside. Most of our homes have a back patio or covered area where you can smoke. All that we ask is that you dispose of your butts. If you smoke inside, that is a huge hazard for not only the other members of the house, but also a smoking or a fire hazard. So you cannot smoke inside PadSplit. And if we find out that you have been, it is a pretty steep fine. So I do not recommend it. But we always have a smoking area either on the back porch or on the front porch of the home. And then you just have to dispose of those cigarette butts properly in a trash can or an ashtray. As long as you do that, totally fine.
All right. Awesome. Well, Hannah, thank you so much for joining. Again, PadSplit is in Atlanta, Houston, Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth, Richmond, Virginia, and coming soon to Tampa, Florida,
right,
and hopefully many, many more cities past that. Where's a good place for Wonoloers to go and learn more and get started with PadSplit?
Sure. So the best place to go is our website. That's PadSplit.com. You can click on the FAQ and it will take you to just about any question you might have, and it will answer that question for you. If you need more support, you can always reach out to us at support@padsplit.com and email us, and we're more than happy to respond to those questions to make sure that you can apply and feel confident in your application and becoming a member here at PadSplit.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Hannah, and thank you, PadSplit, for offering this incredible platform. I know that a lot of people will benefit from this. Any last words from you, Hannah?
I'm just really excited. I know it's a really cool partnership, and I'm really excited for Wonoloers to have this opportunity to have some really cool housing and a new method of moving forward and getting a step up on life.